Hey there. All right, let's talk about Notedeck. Cool. So let's start by defining what you're going to be getting with the plugin. So you're going to be getting the option to add notes as elements or actions. Elements can be added to the editor anywhere on any page or on a reusable element, and actions can be added also anywhere on client-side workflows. That's going to be on any page or any reusable element, and also on backend side workflows, which is going to be basically on API workflows on the backend, right? So now let's jump in into how you can create these nodes. Cool. So on the editor, you can actually start typing node, and you will see this element node that you can add to any element, any group, or any repeating group here on the editor. Now that we can add it, you can see the standard layout for the different types of nodes as elements or as steps of workflows. You will have three different tags that you can use to make reference to any other element on the page or on the same workflow. The node input field where you're going to write down whatever comment or note you want to leave, and the name of the element, right? Let's start by changing the name. Let's call it hero section note, and let's actually write down the note, right? The hero section whatever, right? So what about the tags? The logic with the tags is that you can either use them to manually write down any category or tag for the nodes so that you can find them easily later. In this case, let's write down hero section because it's where it is located. Also, we can use option sets to make reference to anything that we have previously defined. What I normally do is that I create a list of either sections or features that I know that they will be consistent across the whole project, and then I can select any of the previously created options here. I'm gonna choose display, and you can also make reference to any other field here on the page. Let's say that we want to make reference to a search from the database, or we want to make reference to any status or custom state that we are going to be using on the page. You can use it as you want here. For now, let's leave it here, and let's jump into the workflows part. So whenever you are on a workflow, to create a node, it's the exact same process. You're just going to click here on the plus icon and type node, and this is going to be the node, right? As you can see, it's the exact same layout as the one that you have on the editor. You have the three tags and the node field. You can actually rearrange the position of the node and move it over to any place on the workflow. You can add as many nodes as you want on the same workflow. You can use it to either write down comments, or you can also use it to separate steps into different blocks. It's going to be the exact same logic if you're working on a workflow on a page or a usable element, or if you're working on a workflow that it's part of a backend workflow. You also have nodes in here. So now that we are clear about how you can create nodes, let's talk about how you can search nodes, which is the big benefit over the native Bubble nodes. On Bubble, you can create as many nodes as you want, but you can only view them all. You cannot search them, which is the big miss in that case. And in the case of Notedeck, you can actually search them either by element type whenever the node was created as an element node on the editor, or as an action type if the node was created as a workflow node. In this case, let's search for all the workflows nodes. We can see that we have a bunch of them, but what about the nodes that are created for a specific feature? We talked about the notifications feature. In this case, I have previously used it to do some searches, but I know that I have this category created and that I have associated some nodes to it. So I'm going to click search, and as you can see, I'm only getting back the notes that are making reference to the notification feature that I have defined as an option set. In this case, let's click the first one, which I believe that is this. Yeah, and we can see that we have it here, right? So this is how you can search for nodes, you can filter, and using the different using the different tags and the actual comments that you leave on the notes, you have a very flexible strategy to be able to either categorize or tag nodes within different systems on your project, right? Which makes it super simple. So yeah, that's how you can use them. One cool thing that you can start doing with the new workflow editor is that actually now each step has a unique ID, right? And you can actually copy over the whole URL whenever you are selecting one of them, and you can make references between different steps across your app. Let's say that you have a database triggered event that is being driven by an action on the front end. You have an input field and a button that saves any value on the database, and that triggers the database triggered event here on the backend. You can copy over the ID of any of the nodes or any of the steps here, and you can leave that as part of the comments that you have on the front end, right? Let's say that I have it here, and I can leave it as a reference on the actual node, so that if in the future I want to open exactly the step or the node that I have added on any other place, I will just need to open these links on a new tab, and I will see all those nodes. So yeah, this is how you can use nodes, how you can search them. You can use different categories or systems so that you can be sure that you're using the same text on your different input fields. So yeah, that's it. Cool.